Big updates, new betas, and somehow both more anime open worlds and more Shroud than last week. We've got cat girls, free games, paid stash tabs, and actual content. Wild. Welcome to a new, very normal week in co-op gaming. The future is foggier than ever, and for once, that's actually a good thing. Enshrouded has just launched its 6th major update, Thralls of Twilight, bringing ambitious changes to nearly every aspect of the game. Let's start with the Shroud. Formerly a mildly spooky area you ran through to chop the root and escape ASAP. Now it's thicker, darker, and way more atmospheric with eerie lighting and over 100 new points of interest. From cursed ruins and hidden caves to enemy nests. And yep, there are new mobs in there too, some with fun little extras like curses and diseases, just to keep things interesting. There is also a brand new weapon gem system that adds a whole new layer to combat. Rare weapons can now have gem slots, and the gems themselves drop from elite enemies. You will need to track down gem forges hidden deep inside the Shroud to assemble them. There, you can also swap, recycle, or upgrade your loadout to your heart's content. The night used to be the time when you hit the sheets, but now it's a mechanic in itself. Patrols roam the roads after dark, rare plants bloom and drop exclusive crafting materials, and night-only areas like night temples open up. These temples are packed with traps, treasures, and just enough horror to make you question why you didn't just take the nap instead. Combat has had a facelift too. Spellcasting is quicker, parries feel smoother, feedback is tighter, and enemies are smarter. Which sounds like bad news, but actually it's a win. They drop better loot now, including those new gems. Cosmetics got some love too. Elio the Barber has set up shop, and now you can fully re-customize your character. From new hairstyles and eye colors to outfit dyes. More cosmetic options are unlockable through quests and exploration, so your style can evolve with your adventure. And on the quality of life side, there is a whole bunch of smaller but super satisfying updates. There are new armor sets, new potions and spells, including a healing beam that's perfect for co-op play. Sleeping now actually heals you, backpacks are bigger, crafting has expanded with tons of new recipes using Shroud materials, and now you can even make your own repair kits. The biomes have been revamped with improved lighting and smarter enemy placement. Plus, moving platforms add a new dynamic. In terms of performance, the game has received significant optimizations, enhancing both multiplayer hosting and dedicated server performance. Overall, it's a fantastic update, and we are excited to see what's coming next. Sea of Thieves has always been a game about chaos on the high seas. Whether it's skeletons, megalodons, or just your crewmates setting the ship on fire by forgetting to turn off the stove. With Season 16 called Reaper's Rule, launching on May 22nd, the spotlight is back on Captain Flameheart and his ever-dramatic Reaper's Bones faction. Now he's reawakening an ancient skeleton army known as the Order of Bone and Blade. The season's new mechanics include the Cannon of Rage, a powerful portable weapon that overheats with excessive use. Its mobility allows you to place it wherever you like, whether it's mounted on the front or rear of your ship to target enemies, or set up on a beach to blast skeletons and coconuts. The choice is yours. Just don't forget to bring a bucket of water, unless you enjoy spontaneous combustions to set your own ship aflame. You can also dig up skeleton mercenaries who will join your crew. They will join you in battle and even assist in finding and transporting your treasure. And they are even visually customizable, because if you're gonna be cursed for eternity, you might as well do it in style. There are 2 Reaper's Bones voyages. One that involves tracking down Flameheart cultists using magical tools, and another that's all about unlocking ancient secrets to build a new kind of cursed chests. And of course, there's a full 100-level seasonal track loaded with pirate and ship cosmetics, plus a plunder pass if you're feeling generous with your ancient coins. Up until now, gacha games haven't exactly been celebrated for their enjoyable co-op multiplayer mechanics. Unless your idea of co-op fun is doing daily chores or farming the same dungeon with friends for the 50th time. Looking at you, Genshin Impact. But now a new wave of anime gachas is closing in, promising to fill that multiplayer-shaped void in your heart. Neverness to Everness, or NTE for short, is approaching the horizon and looks like Genshin Impact had a cyberpunk face. Or tried to be more GTA. It offers a futuristic urban open world, vehicle customization, races, and a housing system that actually includes managing your own business. Developed by Hotta Studio, the same folks behind Tower of Fantasy, NTE promises online multiplayer modes that incorporate both the vehicle and housing systems. They are currently accepting new players for their upcoming containment test, also known as a closed beta. Set in the fictional city of Heathrow, NTE takes a more lighthearted approach to storytelling. If your idea of lighthearted includes humans coexisting with supernatural anomalies and occasionally blasting said anomalies with your own supernatural powers. A bit like anime Ghostbusters, but with more neon and cat girls who already have my motion sickness sobbing in the corner. Players will be able to team up to explore the open world, visit each other's homes, and cruise around the city in either rented or owned vehicles. Whether we will be able to fight supernatural threats together remains to be seen. No official word on co-op combat just yet. NTE is planned for release on PS5, PC, iOS, and Android. It will be free to play, but of course, gacha to enjoy. And since we're already nicely warmed up with anime cel shading, we hope you can handle just one more. This might actually be great news, especially if you love the anime look but not the gacha mechanics. You might remember Bandai Namco's MMORPG Blue Protocol, which had quite a bit of hype around its Western release. Amazon Games was supposed to handle the publishing in the West, but that release never happened. In Japan, the game also had mixed reviews and then got shut down last year. But behind the scenes, another team under the umbrella of Tencent had already picked up the pieces. The game has now been rebranded as Blue Protocol Star Resonance and is expected to launch globally later this year on PC and mobile, with cross-platform support. Star Resonance builds on the Blue Protocol universe, offering an open world with dynamic world events and a mix of classic MMO activities like gathering, fishing, and questing, alongside more traditional group content such as cooperative boss fights. Combat appears to lean into teamwork, with mechanics that require proper placement and timing. You will customize your own character with a flexible class system that lets you freely switch between the 7 available classes, while still sticking to the classic MMORPG trinity: tank, healer, and DPS. Social features are also getting a spotlight, with a guild system, festivals, social crafting, and what they are calling casual hangout spaces. As ex-MMO raiders, we are cautiously excited about the raiding that was shown in the trailer. Let us know what you think in the comments. Miu Games, the 2 dev team behind Planet Crafter, is about to drop yet another big, maybe even biggest yet, and completely free content update. In Moons, you'll get to visit 2 new, moons. The bright coral-covered Aqualis and the much more barren Selenia. Both become freely accessible once you've finished terraforming Planet Prime in the base game. And yes, you can keep your save file and continue from there. You will retain all your terraformation progress, blueprints and equipment. And even better, you will be able to automate production across all your bases and exchange resources between them. So it's not one of those start over from scratch for no reasons updates. Looking at you, Astroneer. On top of that, there are new unlockables coming, like a wind power plant and a transport gondola. Naturally, there are also new creatures, including this adorable yet slightly uncanny little crab. New plants, froggies, and plenty of new points of interest to explore. We definitely plan to check it out when the update goes live on May 19th. And if you're not sure if Planet Crafter is for you, check out our co-op review. Soulframe is redefining co-op by making it optional, but rewarding. At PAX East, new Soulframe gameplay has been revealed, along with details about the co-op and multiplayer aspects of the game. These are getting implemented step by step, as the alpha tests reach their 10th iteration. Unlike many multiplayer RPGs that shove you into matchmaking queues whether you like it or not, Soulframe is taking a gentler approach. Co-op in Soulframe isn't just tacked on. It's designed as a core feature, but one that respects your boundaries. You won't be forced to join a party, but the game quietly encourages it, layering in systems that make playing together feel meaningful rather than mandatory. A compelling case for stepping out of your bubble once in a while. One of the standout social features will be Ancestry, a clever mechanic that ties players together through shared in-game lineage. If you have crossed paths with another player in the world, Soulframe may link your characters' histories, unlocking subtle buffs or advantages when you team up again. It's a light touch system, but it adds an emotional and mechanical incentive to connect, especially for those who usually prefer to go alone. To further ease players into co-op, message boards are being added. These are free-form spaces for players to leave tips, discoveries, and guidance. It's a bold, trust-driven feature that we hope won't be abused. And for those who like more structured social play, Soulframe offers enclaves, faction-based hubs where players can gather, swap stories, and lend a hand through shared knowledge. We are excited to see more incentives and game mechanics centered around co-op, and we are eager to see what future updates bring. Aska's latest update finally lets you blow up those unbreakable rocks blocking your building space. It also adds new crafting stations and introduces a villager party system, allowing you to swap your real-life buddy Greg for an in-game settler like Sigrun, Ivar, Torsten, or whoever else you've got around. Which, let's face it, might be way more epic anyway. It also brought other big quality of life upgrades all around, improving on its current early access state. Following the successful launch of the free Elderwood update, Palia has given us a sneak peek at what's coming next with their upcoming update, Radiance Rising. This one will bring new discovery quests within the Elderwood, dynamic world events, and some long-requested quality of life improvements, like bigger storage chests and a free courier pet to unlock. And looking even further ahead, far down the road, the team is working on one of the most requested, very exciting features, Animal Husbandry. Core Keeper's next minor update is here, and bosses have finally been taught some manners. Instead of instantly healing the moment you leave the screen, purely by choice of course, not because you died, they now regenerate health gradually over time. Summoning Hydra bosses is also less of a spreadsheet exercise now, with materials that actually make sense, and loot that scales with player count. Warlocks got a new staff that rains poison meteors from the sky, and summoners got some love with tome commands and a support pet. And talking about pets, they can now sleep in beds instead of your storage chest. Progress. Path of Exile 2 just dropped a new minor patch, and instead of, let's say, making progress towards the actual game release, we now have paid private leagues and more stash tabs. Yes, really. You can now spend money to create your own mini economy with friends, though mods aren't supported yet. So it's basically the regular game, but lonelier and more expensive. And the new stash tabs? One for ritual items and another for socketables like runes and talismans. Because clearly paid inventory management was the real issue here. We just hope the next update will focus on the core gameplay instead of pushing the release further for the sake of more paid DLCs. A new event is live in Helldivers 2. throwing you into battle against even more advanced Illuminate enemies. From jet fighters to Frankenstein-like monstrosities, there are countless ways to meet your end. To survive this new threat, Helldivers now have access to enhanced weapon customization, including sights, mags, muzzles, and more. Plus, the Superstore has received a major overhaul, offering permanent access to past gear and quicker rotations. Just a few weeks after the last big Sanctuary update, Windblown is already back with its 4th content patch, bringing in a batch of community-requested features. This update adds the ability to choose which weapons can show up during your runs, as well as upscaling improvements for better performance on the Steam Deck. New treasure chests with a timer raise the pressure, and 3 new cute skins offer a few more ways to look good while dodging certain death. With the Isles Weaver update arriving in June, you will finally be able to take your warframes anywhere across Duviri. A new spider-themed warframe, Oraxia, will also be introduced. Defeat her in a boss battle to collect the parts and assemble the frame. And to top it off, the Valkyr warframe is getting a rework, refining her to better suit the Berserker rage-fueled playstyle. Season of the Divide is live in New World Aeternum as of May 13. Expect fast leveling, high-stakes PvP, and a hardcore seasonal world where staying alive actually matters. New content includes the Coral Divide Outpost Rush map, world bosses, preview weekends for Capture the Flag, 3v3 arena, and a barbershop for those who like to look good while dying. This week, Bro Venture, the Wild Co-op, launched on Steam. We have spent several hours with the demo in co-op and can comfortably say, if you enjoy Vampire Survivor style games, this one is well worth your time. And also worth the roughly $5 price tag for a lot of replayability. Beyond the core combat, there are also gathering, base building, and upgrade systems. In online co-op, you can tackle various shared challenges, like spawning chests and objectives that require coordination, while crafting powerful synergies between skills and weapons to survive increasingly chaotic hordes. Also out now is Cubic Odyssey, the Minecraft-like open-world adventure we featured in our May releases roundup. The launch has been mostly positive, for solo players that is. Unfortunately, the worst part so far has been, of all things, the co-op. It seems the developers either forgot to implement or properly test core multiplayer features, like private sessions. As it stands, random players can join your world without warning. And to make things worse, only the host can progress quests or interact with key systems like bases and spaceships. The devs have acknowledged the issues and promised fixes, but if you were hoping to dive in with friends, we'd recommend holding off for now. Over on the Epic Games Store, you can now grab the 2023 zombie splatter action RPG Dead Island 2 for free. You will get to explore zombie-infested Beverly Hills and Venice Beach Promenade and, enjoy the brutal, advanced, and very visceral combat system. Since launch, the game has added a co-op horde mode, new game plus, new zombies, abilities, weapons, and more. It's free to claim until May 22nd, and once you do, it's yours to keep forever. And if zombies aren't really your thing, or you're just looking for something to try out this weekend, here are 3 more games that are free to play until Monday. House Flipper 2 lets you clean, repair, renovate, and flip houses in online co-op with up to 4 players. There is a full story mode you can play together, or a sandbox mode where you can rebuild your own home from scratch. Power washing and knocking down walls, surprisingly therapeutic. Best described as Paradox Interactive's answer to Satisfactory and Factorio, Foundry lets you gather resources, build sprawling factories, and automate production lines. It is still in early access and receiving regular updates, though it does have a few optimization hiccups, so be prepared for a little jank with your logistics. An action combat PvPvE extraction RPG by ex-Blizzard devs, Legacy Steel and Sorcery offers the genre's usual chaos, but this time in a full high fantasy setting. Reviews are currently mixed, but if you've been curious and hesitant to commit, this weekend's your chance to form your own opinion without spending a coin. But that's it for this week. We wish you a great time in co-op with your favorite people, whatever you plan on playing next, and we will see you again in the next one.